is Oxana. She actually joined the audience at the last event, and she was just kind of getting her feet here, settled in the Chicago area, and here we are, second round, and she's actually here, brave enough to get up on stage. So after her introduction, please give her a huge welcome onto the stage. Oxana has crossed the US on motorcycle by herself. She lost 45 pounds while doing so now I know what I need to do. She read 57 books about self-transformation, started a speaking career, walked 6 million steps? 6 million steps over 10 months, started to speak English, and she turned her life upside down. She has the courage to live, and she's a woman who will never give up. Please welcome Oxana to the stage.
So, in all true stories, the hero has to go into the unknown, into the unexplored territory, and deal with a great challenge and take great risks. In order to do so, something of himself has to die or be given up. And the most important thing to do these things if you have courage, and courage is a very important thing to navigate through life. My name is Oxana. I was born in Russia. My roots are in Ukraine, and I moved to the United States in 2011. And believe it or not, having Russian family, Russian friends, Russian books and movies, I did not speak English at all. So, my speech today has a name. Do people change, or the art of living? December 2023, something happened. What happened, it doesn't really matter. But a sudden realization that I did not have anything. No family anymore, no love, no relationship, no business, no money, no hobbies, no courage to live, no purpose of living, nothing. And the most important thing, I did not have myself anymore. And it was so painful. And the tears that I had over and over brought me to the question, not what happened, but how is everything can be resolved. And I started to do several things. The first thing, I started to walk. Since December 2023, I keep walking every day, at least 20,000 steps per day. And by today, it's close to 7 million steps. And yes, I lost 45 pounds, it's completely new me. And the second thing that I started to do is reading. For 11 months of my self-transformation, I read more than 70 different books. Everything is in English, about motivation, about self-growth, some classic literature. And I noticed how my English level improved dramatically. So 10,000 hours are really working. And the third thing that I did, one day in December, I remember I took a piece of paper and I put all people in there who surrounded me in my previous life. And I crossed every single name. I removed everybody who I was communicating with for a lot of years, because they were using me, bullying me, ridiculing me, trying to put me down. And I understood that I don't want to have anybody from my previous life. And into my new life, I took only one Russian-speaking person. And this is my son of 10 years old. And the first thing that I did, one day I said, okay, Oxana, you have to do something. And I went to the dealership and I bought a motorcycle. It was Kawasaki Z650. And I said to myself, okay, so now you have a motorcycle. What next? And I decided, I haven't riding before, so 2024 is my first year of riding. I had zero experience, and I said to myself, okay, no local trips, no exploration of Illinois or Wisconsin. I have to go from Chicago to Los Angeles on my own, and I decided to take Road 66. And before taking the Road 66 with almost zero experience, one day before I posted a reel on my YouTube.
Shoes with high heels, they're stylish and look pretty, but when you take them off, the blood vessels in your feet begin to open up, allowing an influx of fresh oxygen and nutrients. The same happening when you are going from driving to running. The rhythm of your own breathing becomes less strained and your mind is sharpened. And you are feeling the freedom with all parts of your body. Road 66 Adventure is a chance for me to be free from the past, to remove the pain and breathe in the happiness, being barefoot on the soft, cool carpet of the green grass, accepting the present with enthusiasm and being open to the new unknown wonders. I'm sending my love to you, Sherry, my friend Flo, and my son Vlad, for everything that you have done and still doing for me. I'm hugging you with all my heart. Change will not come if you wait for some other person, or if you wait for some other time. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek.
So the next day, I went to completely unexplored experience for me. And for 14 days that I was doing my 66 road, I was rediscovering myself. It wasn't easy at all because it was a zero experience of riding, so I was facing physical pain, emotional pain, so a lot of mixed feelings that I had, and I didn't plan anything before. My typical day looked like I was waking up at 5 a.m. till 11 a.m. I was handling my travel business. Then from 11 a.m. till the evening, I was riding, filming, riding, and in the evening, somewhere I found a hotel and I had a fantastic dinner, and I was preparing a reel about the day. So everything completely new. And before I started my 66 road experience, my son, who spent the summer in Russia, he sent me a video, and he wished me to meet only good people on my way, and everybody that I met touched my heart in a certain way, because everybody that I met were absolutely fantastic people. But of course, this is a trip, a road, and you never know what will happen next minute. And I had some situations, not easy, but this situation taught me a lot. So the first scary thing happened with me in Missouri, and for me Missouri was one of the most difficult states to ride. And I remember I was riding at the speed of 55 miles per hour on an empty highway. I was the only one, I didn't see any other cars, and at some point I saw a semi-truck coming from the opposite direction, and then this truck suddenly started to switch line, and he switched line and he appeared on my line. Then he went back, then he did it again, then he went back, and I said, okay, Oxana, no panic, you'll have to control the situation. And I said to myself, okay, so when he was just very close to myself, I said to myself, okay, 1, 2, 3. If on 3 he doesn't move, you move to opposite direction on his line. So I started to count 1, 2, and on 3 he moved. So I stayed safely on my line. I was relieved. I thought that everything is over, but I was mistaken, because in a couple of minutes I saw again this truck, but now he was behind me, close to my motorcycle, so close that I even couldn't breathe because he was so close. And again I said to myself, okay, it's not safe to stop, so you have to control the situation, you have to be careful, do not speed, do not change the speed, do not do any rapid movements, just continue as you are until you find the safest spot to stop. And in 4 minutes, something like this, I stopped safely and he moved away. I don't know what was that, but for me it was like a lot of stress. And but this situation taught me that until you control the situation, until you control emotion, you can deal with it. And I think I was successful. So the next situation happened with me in Oklahoma, I started to ride in the rain, and then I stopped at the parking lot for pictures and videos, and then I turned on my engine and I moved to highway, and I was thinking, oh, I feel so good, it's so easy. And then this moment being on the highway, I realized that I left my backpack on the parking lot with all my belongings, with my documents, laptop, money, everything. And at this particular moment, I started to panic. I started to slow down, and I fell down from my bike. And but in this case, so being on the road, the first thing that I did, I got up and I turned around. The car was far away from me because before I started my Road 66 adventure, I implemented 2 rules. One of the rules was if you panic, do not ride. You have to stop riding. And the second one, with zero experience on the highway, I said to myself, okay, but if you need to go to the highway, the road must be clear, no visible cars, nothing. So when I fell down from my bike, I turned around and truck, a huge one, was far away, so I was safe. I got up and I turned to the truck and said, okay, now you have to stop, you have to stop. So then I thought, okay, I also needed to stop an opposite traffic. So I said the same, you have to stop. So I stopped everybody, and I had a deep breath, and I said to my drivers, okay, can you please help me with my bike? Because Kawasaki is a 650, maybe it's not a heavy one, but I could not lift it. So they helped to lift my bike, and they moved this bike to the parking lot safely. So I was relieved. I was alive, everything was good, and my backpack was still in the parking lot. So I was happy. And when I started to turning my engine on, I realized that my clutch was broke.
My full spirit of adventure with all parts of my body. Started to ride in the rain, stopped at the parking lot for pictures and videos, departed without a backpack, first with my nose, made a stick to airports and broke my clutch. Having a stick, a tape and a knife made the clutch longer and fixed it. Visited historical museum and was invited to play the Monopoly. Traveled over 200 miles, arrived to Springfield, Missouri, and had lunch at famous Samuel Shake Cafe since 1920. Then stopped at a drive-in theater and loved the atmosphere. Then on the road again, and finally arrived to Joplin, Missouri for a night. All hotels were sold out, and the only room that I found was a smoking room in the cheap motel. Staying positive, having courage, and ready to relax, even in the smoking room. See you soon.
So, and the third situation that happened, it was in Oklahoma. One morning I was having a breakfast, and I was watching news, and the news were about 5 dead motorcyclists in Death Valley due to extreme heat. And I didn't know what would happen next because I still had a lot of days traveling, but I understood that the temperature in July is getting worse. So I paid really, I was very attentive to the details when the person on the TV was talking about symptoms that a person may experience at the extreme heat. And later, in Arizona, riding my bike at the, maybe it was over than 100 degrees, on the highway, again, I saw a bus, then I didn't see a bus, then I saw a bus, then I didn't see. So, and it came to myself, to my brain that, Oxana, something wrong with you. You have to stop. And I understood that I didn't functioning anymore, so I stopped my bike, and it was my shortest day of riding, only 30 miles, and I spent the whole day in the bar, cooling, drinking some cold water and relaxing. So I was safe, and I think I made the right decision that day. So after completing the biggest trip for me, it gave me so much courage. And me personally, I traveled to 70 different countries, so I'm a very experienced traveler because I had international business for a lot of years. But this particular trip, 66 Road, gave me the understanding of the life and what I wanted to accomplish. And do people change? I would say yes, people may change if they master the art of living. And for 11 months of my personal self-transformation, I managed to recreate my business. I finally understood what projects I want to do, how can I build and rebuild my life, and questioning myself, stepping into the unknown territory of everything at one time. Do I have fear? Yes, I always have fear. Do I have hesitation? Yes, very frequently I have hesitation. Do I have regrets? Yes, I do have one regret. Why did all the things didn't happen to me earlier? Why I had to wait a lot of years until everything hit me so deeply that I had to place my life upside down. So my understanding is none of us has a chance to live the second life. Why do we have to spend life not to have a full usage of life? And being on the self-transformation path, very, very hard, very difficult, I learned how to enjoy the life, how to enjoy the moment if the moment is tough. So people do change if they master the art of living. Thank you, folks.
I think she's 100% right? I mean, like, how many times have we had a life moment where we're like, yeah, you know what, I need to make a change for myself, and I'm going to work hard for it, and this is just going to be incredible. And we're lucky enough to have those second chances, and sometimes if we're lucky enough, a third chance to just kind of reevaluate where we're at and what needs to happen next. So thank you so much, Oxana. Congratulations on your huge life transformation, and what an incredible trip to take by yourself. That was just absolutely incredible, folks. Give her a better round of applause than that. That was pretty amazing.